Ndị be anyị ekelekwanụ m unu. Asị m ka nke echiri ya zelu. Dịka o si dị, ya bụkwa Eastern News 24 ka anyị si were wetara unu ya bụ nnukwu ozi dị oke mkpa gbasịta maka ihe na-eme n'obodo anyị nọ n'ime ya na gbasịta maka nwere onwe nke ndị Igbo na-azọ. Dịka o si dị, ife anyị na-akpọkwu ya bụ evening tea ka jikwa ya mara ya bụ programụ nke anyị wetara unu ụbọchị nke taa na uhuruchi taa. Bụ na nke bụ ụbọchị izi gị na-esoro anyị na-eme na Eastern News 24 kabalụ ka subscribe and turn on your notification ka that miss any of our update dịka anyị na-drop ya n'iru akwụkwọ na Eastern News 24. Gịnị nwanne anyị kwuru ya na ihe bụ cross brokers from nwanne anyị nwoke gịnị kwuru n'ife o were ịgwa anyị n'ụbọchị nke taa. Unu ga-esi ya bụ ife unu dropụrụ anyị kọmentị unu n'iru akwụkwọ ifu nche gbasịta maka ihe ndị a niile nwanne anyị nwoke dọgasị aka dị iche iche n'iru akwụkwọ. All right, over to you, sir.
Our people, our patience cannot be extended any further. Our people that remain in Lagos while all this is happening, I don't buy into the idea of our corona, but they are supposed to have keyed into this BIAFRAN agenda. They are facing what they are facing today. They are having their shops, their businesses, their houses, even their empty lands taken away. Different Igbo people markets have been burnt after that election. And you come to think about who this Peter Obi is. This is a Nigerian politician who has the Nigerian blood in him, the Nigerian politician blood flowing in him, living a life of chameleon all along, and never for one day in his life stood for the Igbo man who are standing for him. After the properties of the Igbo people who voted for him vehemently without hiding their stance, today he has never made any case anywhere. He has never stand anywhere strong to defend the people that sacrificed their convenience. Baba, thank you once again. Let them go and lick their wound. A lot of them, if the election comes again, they still want to go and vote. Because there is inward voice of destruction that ministers to them. There is the satanic spirit in some of them. That whenever they see the core satanic spirit, they get ignited. The fire of satanism help them to destroy themselves. Those who have connection with politicians, some of them who have business contact with some of the allergies, especially some of them whose brothers, relatives find themselves in the circle of power, around the corridor of power, by the passage of power. They are doing everything to defend and convince other people who are always at the receiving end. Some are today still fighting to defend one animal or the other.
Germany. We will say that something happens without the Lord having one of it. First, remember that
greet you all, my viewers. My special greeting goes to my fellow BIAFRANS all over the world. Today, you are still with Akpan Asokwo, your beloved, most amiable presenter from the Biafran Radical Freedom TV. Today we are going to discuss on something very, very, very important, and we will be looking at this discourse from three major viewpoints, basically two major viewpoints, from the scope of Dele Farotimi, who is asking for revolution like Sowore, and the typical Yoruba man, I suppose, is a clergy. I am supposed to look from the lenses of Tunde Bakare, but he's a politician, so he changes like chameleon, where he was trying to condemn Yoruba people who are always pushing to deal with the Igbo people. Rather, I decide to look at this from this man's lenses. Some of you would have seen this video, some of you would have watched the video, some of you saw it online, maybe after a few seconds you jumped it. Okay, I would want you to watch it. It's just a 4-minute video. I want you to watch the video. Please watch the video. Thank you.
Elaboru, elaboye, elaboye boshishe. My good people, while we are all looking and watching, the Lagos state government is committing genocide against a group of people. I know you would think that genocide is too big of a word to be used, but in a situation whereby a particular group of people are being targeted because they don't vote for you, because they are not from your tribe, you are destroying their livelihood, you are destroying their shelter, you are packing them at random and dropping them off in the middle of the night in different bushes around Nigeria, and these people now end up killing themselves. Who do you think killed that person? The man who took his shelter, the man who took his livelihood, the man who tried to run him insane is responsible for that. And that is what is going on with Igbo people in Lagos. The Lagos state government is particularly targeting Igbo people, and I do not know why. I know that majority of you Nigerian Yorubas are happy nítorí àwọn ọ̀lẹ ọmọ onílẹ̀ ló pọ̀ jù láàrin wa. Onínú wa ṣe ń dùn. It is against the God of our land for us to reject any sojourner. It is against the law of this tafida election ṣe kí a fìyà jẹ àlejò. Governor Sanwo-Olu fìyà jẹ àlejò. Wọ́n wó ilé àwọn Igbo, wọ́n da ọjà wọn rú, wọ́n kó wọn láàrin òru, wọ́n lọ drop wọn sáàrin igbó within Nigeria, and we are all looking. This thing will backfire. This will backfire, and I am calling on the federal government to pay attention to what is going on in Lagos State. Ní ayé àtijọ́, when trailers are coming from the north, wọ́n kó oúnjẹ wá ni, they will bring cows, they will bring gari, bring everything. Now all they bring is almanjeri people. So all these young capable people who are ready to fight war, that is what they bring to us. The Lagos state governor did not see it necessary to deport those people, but those people who have invested, who have taken Lagos as their life, create livelihood there are the one being targeted by Governor Sanwo-Olu. And this is a policy of Lagos from the time of Governor Tinubu. They have been deporting Igbo people from the time of Shafa Shola. You remember the Oba of Lagos actually threatening to go and drop Igbo people, gather them and go and drop them in their lagoon. Have you forgotten? That is the meaning of genocide. And that is what is being practiced by Lagos state government under the watch of His Excellency President Tinubu. And I am begging on the president to pay attention. Pay attention. Bí ogun civil war ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní ọjọ́ sí rèé o. These are the things that led to military taking over in 1966. Please pay attention to what is happening in Lagos. It is a crime against humanity what is happening in Lagos. It is a genocide against Igbo people. Omo Yoruba ni mi, and I am shouting out now because I know when it backfires, gbogbo wa ló máa kàn. Elaborate o. Eba wa dọ́gbọ́n sí.
Okay, my viewers, fellow BIAFRANS, lovers of freedom all over the world, I will attend to this video, but before I proceed, I want to appeal to you, please kindly like this video. Don't watch this video without liking it. Please don't just go out of this video without liking it. Please drop your comment, because I know you must have a view. Drop your comment. Help us share it to your friends, your well-wishers, and people who are your own your friends, and wherever other groups where you belong. You are an IPOB member. You can do well to share it in your platform on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on Instagram, on X, and that Twitter, and wherever, Telegram too. Please, let everybody hear our cry. Not as if the cry will make like the mother hen said, I am crying out loud as the kite is busy making away with my chicks, my chicken. It's not that the mother hen, the kite is going to drop or let go of those chicks. But it's establishing, it's making the neighborhood, everybody to know about the challenge. Just creating the awareness so that everybody will know. So that whenever it's time for her to revenge, in the fullness of time, in due time, nobody will blame her. So, fellow BIAFRANS, please, as I really pleaded with you, please, if you have not subscribed to this channel, kindly do. Please subscribe to this channel. Yes, our referendum is still ongoing. At this point, you don't have any reason not to have voted. Every member of your family should have voted by now. But it's your duty. It takes a networking format. I heard about it. My family members, I made them vote. Then the people that voted, that are my family members, I convinced them to understand it is a networking approach. They have, helped their own friends too to vote. Convince them, tell them the need for us to quit this arrangement that has subjected us to poverty, to insecurity, to vicious circle, in summary. Never making any headway. Okay, like the video here you just watched, this Baba Eshegon, thank you so much. You have washed off your hands. You and your family, you have washed your hands off like the Caesar did in the Bible. The emperor or the king did. That doesn't want to have his hands involved in the blood of any disciple or Christ people. So he washed off his hands. If Yoruba people should continue to deal with Igbo people, that they should know the consequences on the long run. However, Baba, thank you. However, we are done we are done. You are a good man. But our people, our patience cannot be extended any further. Our people that remain in Lagos while all this is happening, I don't buy into the idea of our corona, but they are supposed to have keyed into this Biafran agenda. They are facing what they are facing today. They are having their shops, their businesses, their houses, even their empty lands taken away. I know about 4 people who are in Lagos, 2 of them in Badagry, and some of them in Eko. Yeah, who have faced their farmlands where they do agricultural activities. They do farming. Were burnt after this election. Their farmland. Some have different plantations, and their farmland were burnt. I know how many people that their shops, their markets, the Kabankoa, Aswani, different Igbo people markets have been burnt after that election. Their shops have been demolished after that election. Their houses they built have been demolished, and sometimes they are giving us 48 hours notice. The government will come to tell them, some of them, that the previous governments have given a warning. Now you now to activate the warning within 48 hours, just because election is over. So what happened that you did not do these things before the election? But I am not going to blame you, the Sanwo-Olu. I'm not going to blame you. I blame the recalcitrants. I blame the stubborn he-goats who refuse to hearken to the cry of a good shepherd. Prior the election, the real representative of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the real disciple of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the mover and the sustainer of the vibration of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in this freedom quest, the Prime Minister, Biafran Republic government in exile, the young star who have been able to stand to confront the aggressor match to match. He issued a guideline, a directive for the people to follow and be saved. They refused. Rather, they had to listen to merchants. A group of merchants never do well neophytes who organize themselves around the good shepherd that meant well for his sheep, that is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. All along, they rallied around him. He thought he was having people until later, before he was captured, before he sell out. These Judases around him who parade themselves as DOS members, an institution he set up with a good mind, never knowing that he was dealing with a gathering of swines. This man, Mazi Simon Ekpa, the disciple of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he told the Biafran people, wherever you reside, please do yourself good to subscribe, activate the armor of freedom in you. Avoid this election. No matter how many times you involve in the election, it will never ever bring you any good. Rather, you will regret it in the long run. They paid deaf ears because there are some group of never-do-wells who surrounded our leader and used that opportunity to create wealth for themselves to their selfish gain. Sold the leader and thought it was a very good opportunity for their whole syndicate to align and have themselves in the forefront of the Nigerian politics. unknown to the populace who are bearing the brunt today, that they were in the wrong lane. There was one albino who is supposed to be our sister that was also in the forerunner, trying to condemn and condemn, misinform the Biafran people, or telling them to go and vote for Peter Obi. And you come to think about who this Peter Obi is. This is a Nigerian politician who has the Nigerian blood in him, the Nigerian politician blood flowing in him, living a life of chameleon all along, and never for one day in his life stood for the Igbo man who are standing for him. After the properties of the Igbo people who voted for him vehemently without hiding their stance, today he has never made any case anywhere. He has never stand anywhere strong to defend the people that sacrificed their convenience, stand under the sun, even when it took up to 2 months for a lot of them to get their voters card. They had to take the pain. A lot of them shut down their markets because they wanted to vote a Peter Obi, who none of them can trace to where this man ever stood to defend an Igbo cause. Today, what is their fate? Baba, thank you once again. Let them go and lick their wound. A lot of them, if the election comes again, they still want to go and vote, because there is inward voice of destruction that ministers to them. There is the satanic spirit in some of them, that whenever they see the core satanic spirit, they get ignited. The fire of satanism help them to destroy themselves. As we are speaking, as we speak, as we are here analyzing this development, some of them who are not in Lagos, who are in other parts of the zoo, especially those who have connection with politicians, some of them who have business contact with some of the allergies, especially some of them whose brothers, relatives find themselves in the circle of power, around the corridor of power, by the passage of power. They are doing everything to defend and convince other people who are always at the receiving end. Some are today still fighting to defend one animal or the other. And these are the people we should be going to cry for when their properties are destroyed in Lagos. No. These people were even doing Fashola, like this Baba mentioned. Fashola was repatriating the Igbos. He was sending them packing. Goodluck Jonathan responded by saying, no problem, he knows the source. And he was going to dredge the second Niger seaport, the River Niger seaport, so that vessels will come and there will be no need for them to go to Lagos again. This Fashola and the whole of Yoruba politicians connived with the Fulani cabals. They used the Tinubu's and the Yoruba media, ganged up against Jonathan, destroying his image, blackmailed him blue and black, that even the people that once supported him begin to doubt his pedigree. They made the man look like a clown before the Committee of States. They made him look like a drunkard with all kinds of misguided information that they circulated. Today, they are wishing Jonathan comes back. It's our people, our people. Baba, let them to lick their wound. Let them lick their wound. Let the dead bury themselves. Time came when Jesus himself said the dead should be allowed to bury themselves. They have to move on with the gospel. We have to move on too with the gospel, Because we are here preaching the gospel of freedom of mankind. Do you know that some people till today are looking around to support one Afonso Nnewi who has rallied around a group of men, young boys, and armed them with guns in the name of trying to deter criminals, not knowing, it's unknown to little is it known to Soludo that the guy was busy arming people that he will use in his election. Do you know that people who are supposed to be Nnamdi Kanu's immediate men who were in the movement once upon a time with him until they became obvious devil incarnates? They are still today romancing with this same Ifa Yoruba that Nnamdi Kanu took his time to analyze the cruel personality. They have even convinced and wooed the wife of this great leader, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, into joining their team, the League of Disgrace. Let us not even take it to that dimension. Fellow BIAFRANS, please join us as we listen to Dele Karoti.
Look, when you have a situation where there is a concerted effort to stigmatize an ethnic nationality and blame them for everything that goes wrong, and that ethnic nationality in response now say, okay, you know what, so that they will not say that it is we who are causing problem, please stay out of any wahala that is being orchestrated. I can't blame them. If the Igbo man is saying, I don't have any problem with Tinubu, I'm not part of any protest against the government, I can't blame them for saying that. I grew up in an era where whenever there was any problem, the first thing people did was to loot. And who are the people who lost when shops and markets were looted or burnt? It was the Igbo, because those are the merchant, that's the merchant class in Nigeria. Long time ago, when Nigeria had not become the evil forest that it is today, it was just in his infancy at that time. The Igbo man learned that the government has nothing for him, so he learned to survive on his own. You will rarely ever find an Igbo man applying to the civil service or looking for salary job. So the average one, even the ones I went to university with, they will go and attach themselves to somebody in the market. They will learn a trade. So they learned to do without government. They learn to discount the government completely, which means that the Igbo man is better equipped than any other Nigerian to cope with our current circumstances, where the government has become completely useless. The Igbo man was already prepared for the uselessness of the government. So now that he is prepared for it, and everybody else have now decided to stigmatize the Igbo man, I can't blame the Igbo man for turning around and saying, it's none of my business, oh, enjoy your government. He didn't enjoy anything from the government before. So for somebody, and I'm talking about the average Igbo man who is like me and you, I'm not talking about the Ojihus or Kalus of this world or the Okorochas of this world who have always fed on the grievances of Ndi Igbo and made money by appeasement of government and then presuming to speak on behalf of. I'm not speaking to those ones. I'm speaking for the average man on the street who grew up believing that he has no portion in Nigeria, which was what fed the Biafran spirit and the demand for Biafra even 50 years after the Civil War. So I'm not speaking to the man on the street of Alaigbo. I'm not speaking to the trader in Alaba or at Aspanda or at Ladipo. All those ones, they have always lived with the mentality of being victims of the system. So when a victim of the system is telling you, leave me out of your protest, go and deal, because it wasn't gaining anything from the system in the first place. So if he wasn't gaining anything from the system in the first place, he has nothing to lose if the situation becomes, the only thing that is happening now is that more victims are being recruited into the Nigerian mess. So why should he, who was always a victim, further victimize himself by joining those he believes are responsible for his victimhood? Unfortunately, it only assures the victimization of everybody. But it is now incumbent on those of us who know better to help him to understand that, yes, we understand that was yesterday. But for us to all come out of this together, you would have to move away from that pain to now walk. Now at least everybody is now suffering. Yorubas will say that ìyà ò bá kárí kì í tó gbọ̀n. It means that until suffering is democratized, it is not possible to end it. The suffering in Nigeria has now been democratized. Long ago, I predicted that the Nigerian revolution will start in northern Nigeria. The only reason I said so at the time is because the North had always been the reason we could not find common purpose to fight the evil. But now that the person in power in the presidency is not a northerner and is at best a nominal Muslim, and the suffering has now been fully democratized, the northern street, I'm not talking about the northern elite, the northern street has no interest in forbearing and continuing to suffer. Why is it that all of a sudden everything that they tolerated during the years of Muhammadu Buhari is no longer tolerable? Have you considered that? Look, I don't know how long it's going to take, but if this mess continues, the problem that will consume this government will start in northern Nigeria. It's not going to start in the east. The Igbo man has more or less taken a position. I was always a victim. Go and solve your problem. Leave me alone in my little corner. If you lie, steal all the money in the world. You still take that money to a market to go and buy something. And who will you find in the market?
Dear friends, lovers of freedom, we are back again to shed light on this particular SAP. Okay, this is Dele Farotimi, a very reputable scholar that every good chap around, whoever listen to him must fall in love with. He's a very well spoken and erudite scholar, a very amongst the Yorubas, this man is outstanding amongst his contemporaries. So you heard him all through, like he always does. He said categorically that the Nigerian state is useless. He is talking about the protest, why the Igbo man said he wasn't going to join. Yes, those who listened to our Prime Minister, the Biafran Republic government in exile, and averted the joining the protest, they did. And those who did on their own volition, they did. The Igbo man did not join the protest, according to him, which also has to be the truth, because that the Igbo man from onset understands very clearly that the government of Nigeria is very useless to them. That I am not saying anything. That is his words. The uselessness of the Nigerian, that is the man saying it too. And because of that, the Igbo man said, what again, if I go to protest, now the second thing is that the Igbo man has always been a victim of Nigerian aggression. I am not saying anything. I am saying, I'm analyzing what he said, though, and I'm also using his words. Baratima illiterate. That he said the uselessness of Nigerian government. The Igbo man is already taken to that, and that he has always known that he's always a target. To being that the government always will want to victimize him, so he don't want to enjoy or join any kind of protest. That every other person can go for that protest and go scot-free. That anytime an Igbo man is seen there, the government will send the armed forces to shoot at sight. That is a Yoruba man saying. And not ordinary Yoruba man, this is a legal luminary, a scholar, a legal scholar. It's not all these pocket park lawyers saying. This is a strong legal luminary. And this is what he has to say. Now, the Igbo has always been victims of odd Nigerian circumstances. That they are victimized at every corner. And they have come to live with this mentality of being victims at all times, being always oppressed. That is the man saying. He said that the Igbo men already know that the government will never support them, will never add any value to their living, to their existence. After all this analysis, I will ask you a question. That the Igbo man, and you remember, the other man I played his own video. He said, he cited the instance where the Oba of Lagos said without any kind of equivocation that a time is coming when he is going to push the whole Igbo people into Lagoon. And after a while, the current Nigerian vice president came to revive that comment, said that they are going to push the Igbo people to Lagoon, that they are going to bring in a policy between the north and the west that will be targeted at destroying the Igbo people in entirety. At the end, they will push them to Lagoon and destroy them all, and then they take over their land. You too, please. Disclaimer. These things I am saying is not in any way to encourage violence. This is intended to solve the people's age-long problem of having freedom, being freedom from oppression, which should also be your own duty to mankind, to help in getting such awareness, projected aloud. This man here, Dele Farotimi, a legal luminary, very clear and precise. Now, do you know that till today, all the P2Bs are telling you they cannot see what intimidation that is meted against the Igbo man? All the Joe Igbokwe's are telling you, asking even, what is the intimidation? Is it the only Igbo man in the country? What is the intimidation against Igbo? What is? As if they are living in the moon. My good people all over the world, the fellow BIAFRANS, lovers of freedom, and even some other persons of Nigerian origin, those the real indigenes, not the Fulanis. Help us to share this video because I know you are understanding our plight. That the Dele Farotimi is telling you this, that the Nigerian government it's practically useless to the people of this extraction. There is nothing that the government can do to help people, and the Igbo people have come to live. Now I want to ask you, the Igbo man, are you comfortable to know that you have no hope, that the government that should provide for you the enabling environment to thrive has deliberately sworn never to support you, never to allow you to thrive, deliberately made policies that will suffocate you, and those tribes that the British people surrendered the Nigerian state to have sworn and gone into agreement with the Yoruba people to push you to Lagoon. That is extermination. That is an intention to exterminate you, to get you obliterated from the surface of the earth. And you are doing fine boy about it. Are you not provoked? Are you not provoked? How come you are not? How come you are comfortable about this? Some of you will say, oh, what thing concern us now? We're going to do our business with the government, without the government we are doing. Please, I want to ask you, how long will you continue to live a struggling life where you never get any dividends of democracy or support from the government that should be for you and all, for all and for sundry? When is that day coming? So you want to live all your life, and your children will continue to live the life of suffocation with all level of deprivation, with no kind of support. with government stifling all opportunities for you to thrive, how long are you going to live in such a situation? If you know, no concern you your own to do your business. After all, where as you do the business itself, we still get money back. Okay. So if you know you have that natural ability to still do well even without government support, don't you know that when you have government support, you will be, the sky will be your limit? The sky will be your limit. You are naturally people who procreate. You are naturally scientists. You are naturally inventors. You are naturally business gurus. You are naturally experts, economic pushers and shakers. Economic pushers and shakers. It is a real saddening situation that we have people who suck their mother's breast and yet they behave like animals. They suck this breast for almost 1 year and they behave. It is a saddening situation. It is worth crying for, crying about. Oh, my people, my people. That's why when I saw this video where this man who is supposed to be a Biafran officer serving under the Russian military came to, all that was in his mind was to come and warn Simon Ekpa and probably establish the fact that he's not supporting Simon Ekpa and seeking unnecessary recognition that he, in fact, nobody should listen to anybody to scam him with his name, you know, as celebrity now. You are comfortable defending, helping Russia, like Putin is ordering, defend their land, defend their people, but you are ashamed of supporting somebody defend your own land, keep you away from the aggression of the Fulani terrorists. But you are comfortable, you are proud that a courageous man is being a lion. He is there protecting his own people with his claws very actively ready to devour any invader, any enemy animal coming to his territory. You are supporting that man, but you are not supporting the man from your own place.
Ndị be anyị dịka o si dị, unu anụgonu ihe nwanne anyị nwoke kwuru n'elu akwụkwọ. Ọzọ dịka ibe ya bụ dịka ịnụ ya bụ ife ka ị were ikwu gbasịta maka ya bụ ife ndị a niile ọ rụtagasị aka dị iche iche gbasịta maka ka ya bụ ihe si ada n'obodo anyị nọ n'ime ya, ana ka ya bụ ife si ada na ndịda anyanwụ nke anyị na-akpọ Eastern Region. Ka ife were ikwu na ya, drop all your own comment, your own contribution on the comment section below. Daalụ niile na ụmụnne m, chetakwa ọzọ na ihe a bụkwa Eastern News 24 ka a sikwa wee na-ewetara ya bụ nnukwu ozi dị oke mkpa. Ka emesịa na ụmụnne m.